Inside Adobe Illustrator, you're going to create a customized artboard size for a nutrition label. For this, I'm going to click on Custom. I'm going to set my width to 1.4 inches wide and my height to 5 inches. Make sure that inches is selected and that you are not in pixels. Once I have that selected, I'm going to click on Create, and now I have the area, my artboard, that I want to lay out my nutrition label. I'm going to place a nutrition label next to this so I can see it as a reference copy. I'm going to go up to File, and I'm going to go down to Place. I'm going to go to where I have it saved. In this case, it is in my Downloads folder. And I'm going to shrink this box down. Now I want to keep the aspect ratio the same, so I press Shift on the keyboard as I drag a corner and bring it in. So now I have this that I'm going to copy. What I want to do first is I'm going to put a box around the outside edge. So I choose my rectangle tool, and I'm going to give it a box around the edge like this. Now I'm going to type in the information that I need. I'm going to come in here. Now I do not want my cursor to turn into the circle there. That's going to fill the shape. I'm going to click outside, or click while it's still a rectangle. That will allow me to create a text box. I'm going to choose a font, or I will choose a font later. For now, I'm just going to type in nutrition facts. And I'm going to type in each thing that I see here. Now, as I do this, don't worry about how it looks. For right now, go ahead and type everything out. Now, when I get to this section where it has the different values, do not put a space in between here. Notice how I simply have this typed straight out. Do not worry about the alignment here. Just simply type out each of these values. Now I don't have all of them typed out, but I want to demonstrate up to here what we're going to do. Now as you notice, the layout of the font is different than what we have done. We're going to go ahead and modify each line to make it fit in here. I notice that this one is bolder and a bit thicker of a font. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make sure that I have my type over here on the Properties panel. If I do not, I can go up to Window, Workspace. I can reset Essentials, and it will make sure that it shows here. By default, my font is set to Myriad Pro, but I see that this is a thicker font. I'm going to go ahead and change this to a bigger font. In this case, I'm going to choose Arial Black. Now, it does not fit, so I need to reduce the size of my font so that it does fit in this space. Next, I need to reduce the size of this font. And noticing how the font that I currently have, Myriad Pro, is a thin font, that looks like a thin font. I'm going to go ahead and keep that, but I'm going to shrink it down. Now, if it gets too small where you cannot read it, it is okay if you would like to separate this onto another line. For now, though, I'm going to go ahead and keep it about 11. I'm going to keep it at font size 7. I can also select it, and I can come here where the VA is, and I can adjust the spacing between the letters to make it fit as well. So by adjusting this, this is called the kerning, or the space between the letters. I can have it fit inside there. Now, I need to change this one to a bold one, so I'm going to go back to Arial Bold, or Arial Black like I used before. I'm going to bring the font size down. Now, as you notice this, though, we're missing a line up here. To add that line, instead of just typing an underline, I'm going to switch to the line segment tool, and I'm going to click and drag a line. Mine does not presently have a stroke. Make sure that your line has a stroke applied to it. And you can use the arrow keys to move it where you need it to be. This next line underneath is a much thicker line. So I'm going to select on my line, I'm going to press Alt or Option on the keyboard, and I'm going to drag it down. Now if I hold the Shift key, it will constrain it to the same location. Now this one is a thicker line, so with the line selected, I'm going to come over to my stroke, and I'm going to make it thicker. Then I use my arrow keys to bring it down. So again, you're going to go through, you're going to adjust each of these so that they fit the right size that matches over here on the side. If you need to add extra space, you can select two different lines. Notice here how I need space between these two. And with these lines selected, I can come over here and I can adjust the leading or the space that's in between the lines. Now make sure that you are selecting the correct lines. In this case, I have both of these lines selected, but instead all I want to have is this bottom line selected, and I can adjust the space or the leading between those lines. So you're going to adjust the leading, which is the A over the A, and you can see that happening there. And then you're going to go ahead and continue changing all the fonts. So once I have everything typed out, I'm looking at this and I notice that these number values and the percent daily value are all aligned over here on this side. Now the biggest mistake that people make is they will go in and click the space bar until they get to the right spot. But what happens with that is if you decide to change what is written over here, for example, if I were to type out the word grams, you will notice that it moves it. What I want to do is have it so it stays in the same spot every time. So let me get rid of all these spaces. And what I want to do is I want to add in what's called a tab, or when I press the tab key, it aligns this to an exact location. So what I want to do now is I'm going to go up to Window. I'm going to go down to where it says Type because we are adjusting the type. And I'm going to go to Tabs. Tabs will bring up this ruler. It's aligned with what I have right here. And what I want to do is I want to click and add a tab. This is a left justified tab. That means everything will be aligned to the left. This is a center justified tab. That means the word will be centered on this, and this is a right justified. In this case, I want to use a left justified because I want everything to be aligned to the left. So I'm going to go ahead and select at 1 inches. If you don't get it exact, like right there I'm 0.99, I can just put in 1. I can press return. Now if you have something in liter, I'm going to delete it right now. You probably shouldn't by default. Now what this does is when I am inside, now one thing I forgot is you have to be inside the text box when you do this. One thing I forgot is you want to select all your text, make sure it is there. It is there. So now what happens is when you press the tab key, it's going to align it here on the left. I don't need to align the 260. I'm going to delete that one, but I'm going to come down here to the 9%. I click in front of it and I press tab, and I'm going to come down here to the 0% and I press tab. I'm going to come down here to the 1% and I press tab. You're noticing how this aligns everything at the exact same spot that we set it. If I come here to the 17, you'll notice that 17 is off just a little bit. I can go ahead and shrink down this font just so that it fits a little better. And now I'm going to press the tab key and it aligns it with the others. And the nice thing about using the tab key is this keeps the alignment the same every time. And you can adjust your text, and when you adjust your text, it's going to keep the alignment in the same location. So let's say right here I wanted to delete the word includes and just have 10 grams of added sugar. If I delete it, everything stays lined up over here. And so this is the great thing about tabs, is you can control where something is, and it doesn't matter if you add extra letters until those letters go past that tab, and then it pushes it further out.